So with Chris Maduka. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Good morning, Belinda. Good morning, Charles. You're making money on a Monday.
It is
It's
a
good.
positive
It's
vibe.
good. I like your positivity and your state of mind, and you're bubbling with energy, and it's infectious. But like Charles said, remember the way you made your mat. That's how you're
You're
going to
gonna
sleep
lie,
on
yeah.
it. So good luck to our Nigerians. We don't have any reason to complain when we clearly make decisions, directly or indirectly, whether you made it consciously or unconsciously, whether you took money or you
It's still
do it
making
for
your
free,
money.
if you do it for pro bono, give out the rights of your children and everybody, and then we are here to stay. God bless Nigeria.
God bless also Edo people. All right, let's move ahead to the newspapers this morning. We'll be starting off with the Punch newspapers, okay? Let's look at what's happening on the Punch this morning. Edo poll. PDP alleges rigging as APC Okpebole wins. With the rider PDP governors insist candidates won. Obaseki vows to seek redress. Igodalo rejects results. Tinubu congratulates Okpebole as Akpabio Osimole. Shaibu, APC supporters jubilate. You see, some people are jubilating and some people are not. Okay. Also, we have just above the mask, a fresh tariff hike looms as monthly power subsidy hits 181 billion naira. And PDP crisis, Atiku backs anti-Damagun NWC members. MPC may lower interest rates Tuesday.
And still on the Punch newspaper, 1 year after Tinubu yet to appoint ambassadors for 109 embassies. 80-year-old man arrested with cannabis in Lagos. Congress approves 3.6 billion naira for Lagos FA 2024-2025 season. LP crisis, Abure faction nukes off sanctions for Obi. LP crisis, Abure faction rules out sanction for Peter Obi. Oyo mob beats soldier over alleged killing of NSCDC's officer. DSS frees 6 hunger protesters to arraign 3. That's on page 14 of the Punch newspaper.
All right, moving ahead to the Daily Trust newspapers this morning. APC's Ukpebole wins a dog governorship election. With the writers, PDP reject results. Obaseki calls for calm. Vote buying, disruption of coalition, Marpose. Tinubu Buhari, Baru hail own party's victory. And that's the main news from the Daily Trust newspapers this
Petrol
morning.
is 52 naira per liter in Libya.
Interesting.
Petrol is 52
52
naira per liter in Libya.
52 naira.
Per liter, of course. And Libya is an oil-producing country. I mean, there has been this argument about whether Nigeria should reduce its own price, because so many people think that it has to be pegged at an international practice or international price. But right now, Libya is also playing in that field, and an oil-producing country. And then you wonder if it is 52 naira in Libya, why is it not lower in Nigeria?
In Nigeria. Okay, we'll get back to that. Serap urges Tinubu to probe ecological funds spent by Borno government. Israel orders 45-day closure of AI Jazeera West Bank office.
Okay, that's at Al Jazeera West Bank office.
Okay, Al Jazeera.
Okay, floods. Zulum raises committee to disburse donated funds.
Okay, I think that's
all the details you can find on the Daily Trust. We're moving over to the Leadership newspaper. On the Leadership this morning, finally, DSS releases End Bad Governors protesters.
Terrorist bomber 330 kV Damaturu Maiduguri power line.
Current petrol pump price still driven by subsidy.
Council polls, APC clears Kwara, Imo State, Imo seat.
APC's Okpebolo floors Igodalo, Akpata in Edo governorship. With the rider scores 291,667 votes, PDP trails with 247,200 274 votes. Labour Party 22,761. Police walk Obaseki out of INEC office. PDP governorship kick. Tinubu, Buhari, others hail victory.
Serap 6 probe of ecological funds.
Coal mine explosion kill 51 in Iran.
Tinubu others crack down on cyber crime car theft.
Nigeria's annual tire import hits 108 billion naira.
All right, let's look at the new telegraph this morning. INEC declares APC's Okwebolo winner with 291,667 votes. PDP's Igodalo pulls 247,000, as LP's Akbata gainers to 22,763.
State pardon for corrupt public officers undermining anti-corruption fight, says SAN.
DSS releases 6 detained and bad governance protesters.
Afe Babalola warns federal government NNPC Limited against PMS price monopoly to frustrate Dangote refinery.
Soft drinks, diet low in omega-6 driving strokes. That's from study.
Revenue generation, federal government agencies earnings up 89.56% to 617.76 billion naira.
Aviation, Nigeria to shift foreign traffic gap to domestic carriers.
All the details you can find on the new Telegraph. We're headed over to the Business Day newspaper. On the Business Day this morning, Nigeria late to gas party as inertia cost $30 billion.
APC's Okwebolo declared winner of a disputed poll.
External reserves hit 22-month high amidst Naira struggles.
New spectrum banned to curb Nigeria's incessant network outages.
And that's all on the Business Day newspaper. We're headed over to the Daily Independent, if we have that. If we don't have that, then we'll move over to the Daily Times newspaper.
Edo governorship poll, why APC's Okwebolo triumphed with the rider PDP kicks alleges irregularities of the collation of process by INEC. Irregularities very apparent, extremely scandalous. That's Azir Gbemi, that's from Azir Gbemi, and also have that Tinubu Ganduje congratulates Edo governor-elect Okwebolo.
All right, still on the Daily Times newspaper, federal government announces contactless passport renewal for Nigerians.
Tinubu orders crackdown on cyber criminals, transnational car theft.
Commends EFCC for returning $180,000, 53 vehicles to Canada.
Investors on edge as delay in Sukuk savings bond payment raise concerns.
NDLEA intercepts 16.1 billion naira opioids in Lagos.
Climate finance by multilateral development banks hit record $125 billion in 2023 from report. All
the details you can find on the Daily Times this morning. We're headed over to our reviewer in studio this morning, Mr. Chris Maduka. Good morning once again, Chris. Quite interesting things that we're seeing out of Edo State. Elections are done. The winner is known. What's your reaction?
Well, INEC have declared the result. It's not surprising. There's this, where prayers are said, say God did it before, and He will be able to do it again. So the INEC, the almighty INEC of Nigeria, has done it before, and they've done it again. So good kudos to INEC. But what I'm saying, there's an environment and in all ramification of sense of equity and fair play. We do not have the powers to say this happened, but there are some glaring evidences of irregularities in the election. And why These always been in a hurry to declare result when you know there are protests. This is another business for the court. INEC, over time in Nigeria, has relinquished their position to give Nigerians credible elections to the court. They will just do rigmarole and all that kind of trash, and they push it to the court. Imagine what they call them, how many men will sit. Imagine the horse trading and money that will exchange hands. Imagine the time it will take. Imagine the time we waste. Some people have recommended that before you declare anybody, you give, I think this part of why our constitution is totally flawed. If you are declaring somebody, you give time. You know how they do it in the church when they want to wed people. If anybody here who knows why this marriage cannot take place, let him raise his or her hand or keep silent forever. Why is it in Nigerian election? You see clear protesters saying, we do not agree, we do not. You rush to declare somebody, and then you push it to the court. And we keep wasting time. You put somebody there who will spend the next 1 year in office going to court to defend the position you so-called elected. Isn't that flawed?
Let me ask you this. If people sold their vote and someone who paid more for their votes emerged, do you think the will of the people was subverted?
There is nowhere when somebody is paid to vote, I say the will is not subverted. When you weaponize hunger.
No, but at this time...
And then somebody is at the verge of hunger and hardship. You offer small money for a vote. The person will vote. Is that fair? Is that free or fair? When it was clear case of vote buying.
But it's your decision to send.
No, it's not just that. Because when you're talking about where in Nigeria, okay, so legalize it.
No, I'm just saying, like
legalize with vote buying.
If you have sold your mandates for somebody else to emerge, the person whom who paid
just
for
look at the number of people that elected the governor. Look at the number, 291,000 in a state that I can beat every record to say there are more than 5 million people. Bring it down to the number of people who registered to vote. And this number elected the governor of a state. If you want to buy votes in those states, go and buy 5 million people. Bring money, buy all of them, let them vote for you. Let them see the number. But with this number, you are declaring a governor of Edo State. Something is wrong. And it's flawed. From the word go, we were sitting here, and we saw where they were going and were shouting. So this issue, are you saying it's only vote buying that brought these people here? There are viral video that we watched. It's still on my phone here, where electoral materials were being burnt in the bushes around Benin. They were not counted. Are you saying only vote buying brought the person who they've declared? Look at other things that brought in. Toggery, rigging, then go into everything. Intimidation, do other things, then might not sit and bring out the fairness in it. If the fairness that brought him is higher, then good luck to whoever emerges. Remember what you are saying. We're saying the system is flawed. We don't care. After all, not from Edo State. If Edo people decide to sell their right, like we are trying to argue, beautiful, good luck to him. But I'm saying, if you are observing from far and you see irregularities, and everybody who's supposed to talk against illegality didn't talk BNP because he favors them, that will tell you where Nigeria is going. And it is wrong, no matter, even if it's my mother that is doing what we are seeing being done, it is wrong. and it's not smacking of anything for the future of Nigeria.
Both parties were accused of irregularities
Then,
in that particular election because the governor was walked out of the INEC office.
And remember? He walked out.
He was walked out, but he was supposed to be there in the first place.
I'm not justifying his move. Remember what we are saying.
Yeah.
Whoever has got involved in rigging, whether is the incumbent, whether is the oppositions, they are all wrong in that aspect. And we are saying, where will this kind of dog eat dog take Nigerians to? It just showed we are back as animals in the state of nature. The survival of the fittest. Is that the election? It is not. And look at, if you are doing it anywhere, it is now the party at this federal level, suppression. The ones at the state level are doing it with local government election. And we are condemning it. And I am not saying we, because I condemn. It's my opinion. At the state level, the people are doing it. Whenever I state is all of the, not even one councillor from another state. A party in Nigeria that have over 50 registered political parties. And they find winner takes it all. And now we see the same thing playing out over time. What will Nigeria be? What's the essence of election? It's as good as go back to the barracks, bring the soldiers, one man, stand there, yes sir. When I say jump, you ask me how high. That's the kind of thing they're pushing. That's not democracy. If this thing continues, we say we are doing it. With so much money, lives and property, and come back to the same level, where have we gone to with this? In the sense of all things pure and holy, this is wrong. Whatever way, whichever party that is involved in vote buying and to imagine, then it means the system is flawed. System is totally flawed. I'm not saying we don't have powers to decide who comes. INEC still holds the power, and they see Nigeria. They have done it before. They've done it again. Even if they fault it, they close their eyes, and we see that back. Is it not all of us in Nigeria going to the same market to buy beans and rice and whatever, and Gary? Is it not all of us that are cleaning at the filling station buying fuel in Nigeria at 1,400 on the average? Is it not in this same country?
All right, I mean, there's a whole lot, really. I mean, I don't know how much reform you think we should have in our current space.
We are not making any reform moves. That's why we are going. We just look back how far we've gone. We have even practicalized our, sliding back. Some people narrated, look at it, but we slide back on the negative side, or where it becomes easier for us. It was easier for us to slide back to old national anthem. Why did we slide back to other things that happened in the past, like people have argued? Even Nigerian turns everything into a joke. If when we are singing Nigeria We Held You, we brought it back in 2000, at the time this national anthem was on in Nigeria, we know how much food it costs in the market. Somebody may say the population of Nigeria has increased, fine, over time. But then let our development, let all our policy match our growth. Our worry is that we take one step forward, 20 backwards, one step forward. So you can imagine if this continues over time, where we're going to be. Just imagine if all the Nigerian state governors suddenly close their eyes and open it, suddenly become one party's country. When Oga said, they will say Oga has spoken. And nobody has any other opinion. And you know how it is. Is it not what is playing out? Give the next, all these isolated elections coming. Then you find Nigeria as a one-party nation. With all this hunger and hardship, one-party nation.
Wow. What
has the other party members of the states who are under the same party at the center, what have they done when you are talking about hunger? Have any of those governors said anything? That will tell you what will happen. It has to be majority in democracy. Majority, we have their opinion. Okay, minority will have the opinion. Majority will have their way. We have not played to the rules. That's my concern. It has been Look at the money went into a election. Look at life lost. Look at this is how we continue? And it's war. Talk about beating drums of war and the end of it all. The people's will are thwarted. And then somebody emerge in this kind of thing, and people, and before even say emerge, a lot of people are protesting. And that's the next 4 years that will happen in Edo State. So, if it's, we are saying, if you are playing football, it's let the better team win. It has not become a strike in Nigeria. What it means is let the more powerful, not better, the more powerful, the ones who are godfathers, the ones who have guns and ammunition, the ones who have the best interest to kidnap and intimidate, the ones who have more money, let them. That's what wins in Nigeria. But that's not election. We can find another way of calling it so that Nigerians will not look stupid in the Committee of Nations. So that we can justify it. Are you saying what happened in those states in election?
Wow.
We'll keep on seeing, watching what is going to happen after this declaration that was already made. Let's look at what is happening in terms of petrol. Petrol is 52 naira per litre in Libya. And of course, you know that Libya currently offers the cheapest price in terms of pump price, and they subsidized their fuel.
Let's ask, do Libya belong to OPEC? With all these arrangements they are telling us and all the justification, why should Nigeria buy fuel at 1,400 naira? And this average, it will not go to the most remote parts where when you put every other cost on top of 1,400 naira. What the people in such villages, the same Nigeria, breathing the same Nigerian air, will buy fuel. It's not an error. I'm asking, if you rate Nigeria and Libya and the production of crude, even with their own problems in Libya, fuel is still selling at 52 naira. Well, then what justification do Nigerians have, NNPCL have, even Dangote, and all the people involved, and our Minister of Petroleum, which is our president? What justification can they have in Nigeria to save fuel at 1,400 naira? And with the promises, they've told us that IMF said Nigeria is not yet selling at market. Is Libya in which planet? That's the question. Which planet? With all the challenges they have there. And who decides how much you sell fuel to your people when you can refine and when you can and drill and refine in your country?
They actually have refineries working in the country.
Fine.
It's working.
If you refine, and because some forces has sworn that no refinery will work in Nigeria, even the private-owned one, they will go there and stoop on this thing they didn't bring out. You just go there on another person's waste. You go and sit down there. That they are part of the forces that do not want anything to happen. Assuming Nigeria crude oil, you are not even in control. You know how much Nigeria spent to get private organizations to protect crude oil flow in Nigeria? Private security. I paid billions. Even after that, the crude theft and stealing has not stopped. It's even got worse. And once in a while, they will do rogue matters and show some one rotten cargo they want to destroy and just say they captured that one because it's not working. Maybe if you put crude in it, it will leak in it. Before it gets to destination, it will leak. So they will find that one. They condemn it and I say they've arrested that. Once in an isolated case in billions, just to deceive Nigeria. If we are getting our crude and are refining it and bringing it back, with what will it get to 1,400? Assuming, because if you refine your own country, like Libya, you get 52 naira. Can you imagine? Minus 52 naira from 1,400.
Wow, that's a huge amount, really. I mean, but I'm just wondering why the government is scared of competing with Dangote, because every now and then we hear that they are putting monies to revitalize the moribund refineries in Nigeria, specifically the Port Harcourt refinery. They have promised more than 3 times that that refinery was going to come on board. I'm almost wondering, really, since NNPCL has been privatized or of some sorts, and one with stakes by the government, of course, how about just putting more effort in bringing that Port Harcourt refinery up so that Dangote would have a run for his money? There will be competition, and that will bring the prices of fuel down. What is that thing that is holding us? I really don't think that the government is sincere, frankly speaking, because you sold this so-called crude to Dangote in Naira. Naira, the Dangote refined in Nigeria, there is nothing like landing cost, which we always say that, or the government always say, oh, landing cost is 1,000, landing cost is 1,200 because of the devaluation of the Naira. So this product is ours. So why is it still 1,400? Why is it 1,300?
The reason is deception, insincerity, greed, sleazes, graft. Everything you can think about that is satanic. There are forces that are surrounding Nigeria. They don't want us to breathe. And it's very obvious. This is it. Why who is even afraid? Is even the federal government? Yeah, they're afraid of competing. Not even Dangote. Because if the refineries are here, you won't allow the guy to, if he doesn't feel he's competitive enough, he won't go and spend that kind of money putting up a refinery. But this is a man that you have allowed to do it. He always liked to thrive in monopoly over time. But then you have to leave him. Let Port Harcourt refinery start producing. Let the Warri, Kaduna, another place they have refinery. Let one of them bring up fuel. Let's see.
I think this is even the best time, Seth, because now it is okay for now to even either they lease out that particular Port Harcourt refineries or maybe sell it off to private investors. Given that what Dangote is doing, it means that other people will be interested in playing in that particular field. So this is even the best time to let go of that refinery in case they cannot take care of it. You
use the right word. Let go. And I see, from all I see, none of them is ready to let go. You know what this involves? You know how much money that's involved? That they have they've sold their soul to the devil. None of them will let go. And it's becoming very obvious because nobody can justify. Each time we talk about it makes no sense. What is happening makes no sense. And they are not ready to explain to anybody. I've not had the NNPCL said there was a spokesperson from NNPCL since all this started. And what have you had NNPCL say? You only hear in the newspaper they say they will buy off whatever Dangote produces. Why? That's only where they're active. For 28 years, they're not active in reviving half, just 1/4 of one refinery. And you said they promised you 3 times. You are being fair. They promised us 100 times that the refineries in Nigeria will come, and it has not come. We are not afraid to say it because if refineries are working, we will tell them. Of course, even Nigeria will feel it. Why are there somebody? There's some things that happen in Nigeria you cannot fathom. Somebody said one time that why transportation in Nigeria, rail system in Nigeria, it makes no sense. But after over time, you start seeing is that Nigerian big transporters those days are competing with the rail stations. So if the government put rail lines, they will not make any. And I said, is government a business person? And is it not the moving goods and people from one side to the other should be the ultimate at ease? Nobody cares. At the point you start doubting, do we really have government? And all these things are happening, no explanation, and people are suffering. The worst is that we can't even breathe with what is happening. And it's not touching their mind. It's not touching their conscience that this is happening. It's still about money. So let nobody deceive you. They will not let go, Charles. You said, why not let go what? They didn't even let go the one they are holding. If they sold the refineries, people will buy.
Yes.
And some Nigerians are running refineries in Europe.
Yes.
They have shares. They will come here, if you still want to maintain the controlling share, the federal government want to maintain controlling share, at least to pay the the high salaries of NNPC staff. They will hold 60%. Let them sell off 40%. They still cannot let go. And then somebody is refining and want to sell. They still cannot let go. They still didn't even allow the man put a price to whatever he said he has refined, so that Nigerians will hear. Has they allowed them? Everybody allowed Dangote to say, my fuel is coming out at 1,000 naira. So that people will now start talking to Dangote directly. They want to buy off whatever Dangote is with them, buy up Dangote's trouble, buy up everything, buy up his mouth, seal it, tie it, and Dangote will speaking to us through NNPCL. It's an error. It's against all spirit of fairness and humanity. It is wrong. Whoever is involved should be touched that we are dying. I read one line, because I'm a Christian, where the disciples of Jesus were traveling in a stormy weather in the ocean. And the man was asleep. And one of the apostles was saying, Lord, does it not touch your heart that we are wasting, we are going to die? He woke up and they said, peace. Let there be peace. And the storms calmed down. Let's ask the NNPCL, do you not feel whoever, the minister for you, the president of Nigeria, do you not see that we cannot breathe in Nigeria? Does it not touch your heart? Is it that bad? Can't you do something with all this happening? I'm heartbroken this morning when the newspaper headline said 52 naira in Libya, and we are buying at 1,400 naira in Nigeria. Oh, it's sad. And some people don't even have this energy to wake up in the morning and speak the way I'm speaking. Can you imagine at the level, put it down from my level down to where they are, and you now see that there is something wrong. Nigerians are dying in numbers. Some people wake up in the morning, they can't even have where the next, they can't even fathom what they're doing. They will sit down back and die.
Wow. I hate to say this, but it does look like we might have an increase in tariff for power, because the subsidy for every month has climbed to 181 billion. And so the Minister for Power is saying that there might be a price hike in order to cushion that particular effect.
This is almost the 5th time they are telling us this. And you know, in Nigeria, when style like this, they won't even give a deadline. So that if you want to die before then, you take care. They will only wake up one morning and say the energy tariff has risen. And that's what if you ask them, they say they've said. Like what happens? You might wake up in the morning and find the government demolishing your house. When you hear a rumor like this, that there might be, before you wake up, they come and say they have spoken word. If they want to raise the tariff of energy in Nigeria, let it come all out. Tell us how much. And it's gotten to the point I was coming in the public transport. I said, this is a country that, let them tell you ahead of time so that if you want to die, you go and buy sniper.
That's it.
But even now, sniper is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Now, but they won't even allow you. They want to take you by surprise and get you disorganized. So, if energy, is it linked with 800 billion naira import in Nigeria? Is it? And we're talking about this is how much we import every day in Nigeria. And we see hope as Nigeria to compete in global market. When we are importing everything, we import toothpick, handkerchief, biscuits. And this is our level, 800 billion naira. But am I talking about it? You find in some accounts of some Nigerians, 800 billion in Nigeria.
Exactly. In
the bank account, one single Nigerian will have this amount. And we all go to the same market to buy. So Nigeria has created an environment that is survival of the fittest. They even show it in election in Edo. They show it in local government election that happen in some states in Nigeria. And they are ready to still show it tomorrow. So all of us are being asked to sit up, dress warm. Because Nigeria is moving to Alaska. We are going so soon there. Over time, this is all is telling you that there's no hope. You people sit there and say, everybody say reform, hope. You hear one little thing about hope. The next thing, DSS released 6 out of 10, and no news about the other 4. Because we were talking here that they gave them 10 million naira as bail ransom, each. Does it mean that these 6 has paid 10 million naira?
I'm not sure that they.
They kept silent. Where are the other 4?
They're going to rearrange them apparently. That's what they said.
Okay, they are rearrange them apparently.
Yes.
Okay. So if the 10 committed offense and they deserve to pay 10 million, sometimes they release 6. Let it not be what we are thinking about. Let this 4. Let this remaining 4 not be sacrificial lamb. The whole world is saying, release these people, that you cannot say you are suffering hunger and hardship, and somebody say it's treason, and they will not discourage anything, because people will still say they are hunger in different ways. So is it not better that the people who came out in the open, that you know their mind, they suppressed negative energy boiling in the minds of Nigeria, is what we are suffering indirectly as security issues. Do you know what wickedness go up in the heart of Nigerians? That Nigerians have lost that love that makes us the most happy people in the world. That they can do, and you can hear droplets of stories that come out of Nigeria. You will imagine a Nigerian can do that. These things are happening. But when you are not even allowed, if you come and say, we no agree or no, somebody should come and address us. They say, all of you have committed treasonable felony. People will go back in the comfort of their homes, if there's any comfort there. And then they begin to plan other evil things that, imagine if the Nigerian people come out and say, don't worry, even if it's not true, you can still come out and say, don't worry, we're going somewhere, it's better. Make some fake promises, calm them down, as usual. Because politicians make fake promises. Then things will calm down. They say, when we come out to protest, Charles addressed us as our head. We'll go back home. But if we come out, they say, you want to overthrow me, treasonable felony, go back home. People go back home and say, okay. The small axe. Who we always cut the big tree. I don't forget that song. It was a reggae music. If you think you are the big tree, we are the small axe. We're gonna cut you down. Then the small axe is cutting down the giant of Africa. There's some portions of Nigeria the government can never access again. They have been taken over by this small axe, cutting Nigeria. Go to Yobe, Zamfara, all this cutting Nigeria, northeast, northwest, southeast. Small axe, cutting Nigeria, we think we are surviving. The sooner we come out and own up the situation and begin to do what you call reconciliation committee, take it up again and see less people come out. Apologize to certain people that need to be apologized. Call them back, let's start all over. Some people sit down. If you eat your brother for dinner, he went to bed on empty stomach. That is the result of what we are suffering. That is it. It's not working out. And we can't get this far with every 160 billion SUV for everybody in power, even the CBN workers, senior officials, with the prison yards they build as security, and all the armies and security forces they use to guard themselves. What they would give you, imagine what cost these are. Absolutely. If they would have made rice to sell in Nigerian market at 20,000 naira per bag. But we put it defending the people who are in power. They're not taking decisions that we can steal and see as they're helping us. It's an error. It's an error.
It's so sad, really, what's going on in the country. I don't know what to think about the local government elections that happened in Enugu State. We also had the one in Imo State, all cleared by the ruling party in the state. PDP, 70 local government area in Enugu State, cleared by, as announced by NCEC, and then the IMCEC, that is the Imo State's Electoral Commission, also announced all 23 local government areas.
Do you want me to review the obvious? I thought it's
Well,
newspaper review.
well,
If you review the obvious, PDP has won all the 17 local governments in Enugu State. Beautiful. PDP, kudos.
no, beyond the winning, how do you see the elections? I mean, you were here on Saturday reviewing it while you were here.
The same thing. What happened is a smaller guba has happened. And the idea is, we were here analyzing, talking about seasons of elections on Signature Television. We talked up till 4 o'clock. There are certain people before 4, and the election was supposed to end by 3. There are certain venues where electoral materials did not get to before 4 o'clock. There were some centers where the INCEC people came, they didn't see people to vote. They didn't see one policeman, and it was supposed to be a voting center. There were places we see only party agents. You know, and Belinda,
Chris, I would have to sue you. I would have to sue you.
Belinda,
Believe me, I would have to sue
she
you.
went there as Belinda, and Belinda did everything because he was hot, reporting from all locations, and he's here. Of course, if he can fault me if I'm wrong, because we are sitting in the location and we are seeing them talk.
Yeah.
He was everywhere. He won't touch me where he was, zone 9 or whatever I call them, area 9, in one place in Transekulu or Nike. You saw 2 ICEC officials who lied and said they would be there by 8. When we know that you are reporting from NCEC and said the material has not been distributed by 10 a.m.
True.
So the obvious lies. People do not know in the era of digital technology. If you want to tell lies, think and become creative. Don't just say anything. Because some material, but PDP, there now is a number of people who voted really in the NCEC election, and the NCEC organized election, local government election in Enugu State. Does it cut across and say the people of Enugu State have elected? That's my worry. Because whatever you do, election result must come, even if it's only in simple majority. If it's only one person, it's simple majority. And that one person, you know the obvious, where it's going to. Because the person who will come out is the person who is shocked.
There were violence in some places during the election on Saturday. Would you say you're going to be expecting courts, suits, and all
I said,
that?
whenever there's election in Nigeria, I remember the line that Idi Amin of Africa. He gives one word. He said, whenever there is a change of government in Africa, a few heads must roll. Whenever there is election in Nigeria, a new business is open for the courts. A lot of people are threatening to go to the courts. Some lawyers, the learned people, are not who are sitting quietly in their comfort of their chambers, and somebody will come and engage you to begin to go to court to defend, and then we talk. They go there, speak Oyibo, postpone and postpone and postpone.
I'll be shocked
until the tenure of the office they are contesting
is halfway.
Something happened. During Buhari regime in Nigeria, Atiku was still going to court even when it was 3 months for Buhari regime to complete. So you see the uselessness of this. And they will keep quiet. Somebody has muted late before you swear in anybody. Because the INEC will rush even in the night to give certificate of return. He said, is this certificate of return? Can't you wait? If you are sure of what you are doing.
I mean, the most part of it, in fact, is Enugu even tried. They announced numbers, even though some people claim that those numbers were kind of fabricated. There were no opposition members who was at the declaration center to even ask whether they feel that the election was free and fair. But beyond that, Imo State local government election was even worse. They announced winners, no numbers. You know how it is that you announce it?
The simple majority of ghost voters cannot be numbered. Are you a ghost, chap? You must be a ghost to say
it is this.
Against this. The ghosts have voted people in Imo.
And you can't see the number.
And the numbers are ghost numbers. Listen, is it not this country that have ghost workers, ghost governors, ghost assembly members, both state and federal, ghost everything, ghost budget, ghost policies.
It's just terrible.
So when these things are generated, you will come tomorrow in the same Imo State when people are watching. When the big goat is eating the fodders, and the small ones are watching them out. Tomorrow, you will say, somebody, if I come up and go to Imo and the children are there, they will come up and say, this is how elections are done. Ghost vote people, and it will be announced. And the ghost people of Imo State have accepted the number. Because the ghostly, they cannot do anything. The ghost has a way of making you feel
Ghosted.
You swallow it, and it's a ghost. Then the ghost, who are spirits? Some people like Belinda, that is a Christian, will tell this, my spirit tells me. So what tells you, when the ghost tells you not to say anything, when a ghost elected official is announced and the ghost, and then we'll be surprised, some of those who won really by ghost voters will find themselves also walking from far, in ghostly from Abuja. And that is wrong.
How do you even announce a result? You announce a particular political party have won an election, and you did not break it down. He just said that people should
break
disperse.
Down to who? For who?
To the general public.
Who are the general public? Did the general public come out to vote?
At least
you break down to people who came out to vote, or people who came out, who were here. Somebody was calling from Olu, that they went to do Olu's central division. That's the only way election can hold, because certain part of Olu have been manned by unknown gunmen. And the government of the state, who is centrally the principal officer, is from that zone. And they said, so we were analyzing here. How do you move people to that side? I asked the guy who was on the phone, one Chuka, and he said, did this thing affect the voters? He said, of course, yes. So even when people will trek, nobody will leave an unsafe zone to trek to the safe zone to vote for a safe politician who do not care about his unsafe area where he's staying, and then go back to unsafe area. And the safe politician will carry the safe vote ghostly to somewhere announced and then disappear and come back after 4 years. The error in Nigeria is so enormous that people can think about going to organize election for a local government in the local government headquarters, and they delete all the polling booths because there is not safe for people. And they expect people to come there. This figure will emerge there if they bother. Otherwise, they will just decide to announce the winner, and then you go and sort out the figure. That's Nigeria for you.
That's terrible.
We didn't hear about much from Sokoto because of distance and the logistics. We didn't hear from Kwara, but bet you me, you use as a blacksmith, we don't know how to mold a wood gong, metal gong. We have looked at the tail of a talon, the tail of a kite, and we see the shape, so we can mold. So what happened in Imo, what happened in Enugu, is actually, if you are thinking that we are different in Kwara and Sokoto, it must be a lie. In fact, it might be worse there.
But, you know, I just wanted to find out, do you think in the spirit of this latest judgment by the Supreme Court that each local government should have its own financial autonomy, do you think it is in that spirit that these local governments are being held, and beyond being held in this manner?
Why the hurry? People stampeded themselves into organizing elections. The meaning there's no something we do not know. Nigerians are very creative, especially the Nigerian politicians. They have a way of being negatively creative. If they are being positively creative, we would have felt it. But they're always thinking about the loophole. Now, you sat down there for so many decades, nobody's talking about election. Suddenly, the Federal Supreme Court said, organize local government election within 3 weeks, 1 month. But if they are in a hurry to do this, something is wrong. Because you watch. There's a way a man will be crying at somebody's mother's burial. You know, Mama, oh boy, are you sure you don't have? So there's a way the Nigerian government officials will begin to do certain things. Be careful, something is wrong. Now they are rushing this, stampeding themselves into elections. That up to 11 a.m., NCEC office, some material has not left. But result was announced later. So even when it didn't get to, before 3 a.m. and they extended some area according to law and all, the result were, so we said, congratulations to NCEC, at least you announced numbers. I think they went to the extent of giving us numbers. What of the ones that didn't give you numbers and the people result is announced and there's quietness. This uneasy quietness is where my fear of the small acts that's cutting Nigeria down. This uneasy quietness It's not good. When my father told me, when he did not, the lion did not see a prey to consume, they said there's no lion. But lion is prowling somewhere in the hidden. Once he manages and get it, whoop, I say, hey, lion still there. This quietness is that it doesn't mean that there's everything is at peace. It's just the lion is prowling somewhere quietly waiting for soft targets. And those soft targets are the helpless Nigerian like me and you. What will it cost you to wait for government to do roads, to give necessary infrastructure in your local government? When the what they call it, the business of all those things, kidnapping and unknown government thing, if you just manage to get one AK-47, you have established a ShopRite. You can control a whole village and deciding what happens there in same country. That's, by the way, we're not saying it's a good thing, but certain things brings certain reactions, and every town, every community, every people, every set of people, every nation deserves whatever they get is what they deserve at that particular time in history. So Nigeria, since this is what we want to live our lives, survival of the fittest, good luck. For those of us who are not fit enough, we go and die in the comfort or in the hell of our homes. And we'll meet in heaven. God bless their souls.
God bless their souls.
It's sad. Then we go on. What else? Contactless passport for Nigeria. Beautiful. Contactless. Because what is happening in Nigeria, because of contact, when two Nigerians meet, something must exchange. Then imagine when two Nigerians meet in the business of renewing or obtaining passport. The racketeering that go in NIS. I experienced. I've tried to renew my passport. God. Because I went online, paid online and they look at my face and say, I managed to collect that passport 3 years after when it almost expired. Because I went through the normal channel of paying online and dropping paper. I said I want to collect. I am a living witness. 2 years after I didn't collect my passport. Because you go there, the sleaze, they want the contact where you come, we call you aside, you see a big heap of activity. And because a lot of Nigerians want to japa, it was another business for those who are issuing passport. So imagine the number of Nigerians who have left and what it cost them to get passport by contact with the officials. What has exchanged hands. So that's what I'm telling you. Nigeria has come out with a wonderful idea of making Nigerians renew their passport by not contacting anybody. They will still go to collect it from somewhere. There is still contact.
Absolutely.
And God help those who, when the passport jumps out, because you stay down in the comfort of your home and renew and do everything, you went to collect anywhere. You must go with helmet. They hand the helmet, you hear anything like hand helmet so that there will be no contact. Go with nose mask. Go with pocket mask. Mask everywhere so that nobody will have you go there, they draw the passport on the ground and you pick it. And say contactless so that no official of Nigerian Immigration Service will have contact with you. Because if they do, what happened in recent past is more likely to continue happening. Probably maybe would be reduced. Because imagine when you come. A passport at that time, I know it was less than 15,000 or something. And somebody said pay 75,000, so you get it. I was told. I'm not quoting. And I said, we don't need online, please. I said, okay, go home. I imagine what they said. This one thing say, you know the usual thing here from security. Are you teaching me my job? Once you see any of those people in position of authority say, are you teaching my job? When you ask questions and deserve an answer, you say that this one, you say, you are proving you know too much. They will show you. Why? And that's what we say. So let's go. Contactless, 16 billion opioid in Lagos captured.
We have to go.
They tell you that it's not a small man business. 16 billion naira worth of opioid in one catch. And I will tell you, how many waters that pass under the bridge every day, and the money involvement. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your time. And of course, that's where we're going to,
I know that time I've already packed and I'm on my way.
Okay. All right, keep listening, keep being tuned to our channel, and we'll be right back after this short break.